Thank you for those who are still reading with me. Wonderful. We're not many people reading, but still enough to go on. Today's going a little bit lighter, I think, a little bit easier. Les Misérables, we're reading page 56, 57 of the most wonderful book in French literature. Remember, we were in the city or the village of, I think rather city of Montreuil-sur-Mer. Was a man there who arrived, started a business, flourishing business, and so the first sentence is année des achats immenses. So I think it was a year of huge, immense is immense, huge purchases. Achat, purchase or purchases. Okay, so we're in the story. Montreuil-sur-Mer, pour ce commerce, faisait presque concurrence à Londres et à Berlin. So this village, Montreuil-sur-Mer, for its business, and then we have the expression faire concurrence, to be in competition with. So was almost in competition with London and Berlin. Les bénéfices du père Madeleine étaient tels que, dès la deuxième année, il avait pu bâtir une grande fabrique dans laquelle il y avait deux vastes ateliers, l'un pour les hommes, l'autre pour les femmes. So we could say the benefits, but I think in this situation it's rather the profits of Father Madeleine. Just let's say a word about Father Madeleine. When you said in Old French, père, it's a bit like the head of the family. No, he did not have a family, but it's like the head of the company here. So people said easily père. So let's call him Father Madeleine, even though we will not say that anymore nowadays. And then, I don't know if you have already a clue who might be le Père Madeleine. So, this Père Madeleine was such that from the second year of the business, he had, pu comes from pouvoir, had been able to construct a big factory in which there were two huge workshops. Vaste, you can say vaste in English, but huge workshops. The one for the man, the other for the women. Quiconque avait faim pouvait s'y présenter et était sûr de trouver là de l'emploi et du pain. So quiconque means whoever. In French, you're going to say had hunger, whereas in English you would say was hungry. So note it down. Avoir faim is to be hungry. So whoever was hungry could present himself there. The there is the little word I, and was sure to find there. De l'emploi means a job, employment, a job, and bread. So everybody was welcome. Le Père Madeleine demandait aux hommes de la bonne volonté, aux femmes des mœurs pures, à tous de la probité. Let me put down my cup for a moment. So, Father Madeleine demandait, asked, or maybe demander could also be like he, no, it's to demand. It could be to ask in French, but also to demand. So I think here we should translate it by to demand. So he demanded from the man the goodwill, to have goodwill. From the women, he asked pure morality. Mœurs we could translate by, let's see, like pure behavior, sorry, morals. And from all, à tous, from all, he wanted probité. Probité, I think we could say honesty, integrity. Okay, so the man had to have goodwill, women a good moral behavior, and from everybody, he asked honesty. Il avait divisé les ateliers afin de séparer les sexes et que les filles et les femmes puissent rester sages. So he had divided the workshops in order to separate les sexes, it's the genders, and that the girls and the women could stay sage. Sage means good or wise, good behaved. Now, puce, don't try to find out what it is. It's some kind of a past subjunctive. This is only written in Old French language. So I think if you would speak, you would say pouvait. It's the imparfait of the verb pouvoir. Sur ce point, il était inflexible. So on this point, concerning this point, he was inflexible. Couldn't discuss this point. This had to be for everybody. C'était le seul où il fut, en quelque sorte, intolérant. It was the only one, so the only point where he was in some ways intolerant. Oops, where are we going? No, this is not what I wanted to do. Let me see. Maybe I should, yes. Okay. So, le père Madeleine employait tout le monde. So, Father Madeleine gave a job to everybody. Il n'exigeait qu'une chose. And here, exiger, that's really to demand in English, whereas the other word, demander, is rather, to ask. Here it's really to demand. He demanded only one thing. Soyez honnête homme, soyez honnête fille. So be an honest man, be an honest girl. Comme nous l'avons dit, au milieu de cette activité, dont il était la cause et le pivot, le père Madeleine faisait sa fortune. Mais, chose assez singulière dans un simple homme de commerce, il ne paraissait point que ce fût là son principal souci. Yes, it's a long sentence, but not too difficult. So, as we have said it, in the middle of this activity, of which he was the reason and the pivot, it means he was the center of all this activity. So he organized it, he ran it. Father Madeleine made his fortune. But a thing rather interesting, singular, interesting or special, in a simple homme de commerce, merchant or a simple businessman, il ne paraissait point. No, not he. Here, il is not he, it's it. And so watch out. You have to decide if il means he or it. It could be like what you call an impersonal construction. So it didn't seem, il ne paraissait point, he did not seem, and remember, point can be used instead of pas in Old French, so he did not seem that it was there, or that, his main concern, souci, problem or concern. Il semblait qu'il songeât beaucoup aux autres et peu à lui. So it seemed that he thought Instead of the verb penser, you can use songer. Hein? Songer means penser, to think, that he thought a lot about the others and little about himself. En 1820, on lui connaissait une somme de 630 000 francs placée à son nom chez Laffitte. So in 1820, one knew him, but one knew him, we're going to translate it by, it was known about him that, so what was known? That he had a sum, an amount of 630,000 francs placed on his name at Laffitte. Laffitte, it's a banker. It's a bank, a banker. So he had that sum placed in the bank, or yes, he had that money in the bank. Mais avant de se réserver ces 630 000 francs, il avait dépensé plus d'1 million pour la ville et pour les pauvres. So, but before reserving this 630,000 francs, he had spent more than 1 million for the city and for the poor. So before having the money for himself, he had already spent a lot for the city and for the people. En 1819, le bruit se répandit un matin dans la ville que, sur la présentation de monsieur le préfet, et en considération des services rendus au pays, le père Madeleine allait être nommé par le roi maire de Montreuil-sur-Mer. So, in 1819, and it really says like the noise spread. The noise spread, but I think we could also say like the word got round. One morning in the city, that on the presentation of, but I would say presented by Mr. the Commissioner, and en considération, so considering the services given to the country, Father Madeleine was going to be named, or here it's not named, but nominated by the king, mayor of Montreuil-sur-Mer. So, the people want him the mayor of this city, Montreuil-sur-Mer. Ceux qui avaient déclaré ce nouveau venu un ambitieux saisirent avec transport cette occasion que tous les hommes souhaitent de s'écrier « Là, qu'est-ce que nous avons dit ?» Let me just take a little bit of coffee and then it isn't my second working day, so I'm still a bit tired getting up early in the morning. So, those who had declared that this newcomer, so Mr. Madeleine, this newcomer, they had declared that he was un ambitieux, an ambitious man. They took quickly the opportunity. You see, avec transport, we can translate it by quickly, but this is not used anymore nowadays, so you can forget about it. Avec transport, nothing to do with transport, but it means very quickly. So they took quickly the opportunity, they seized the opportunity that all men wished to scream out, there it is. What have we said? Yes, people like to say that, what did I say? He's very ambitious, he's going to be the mayor. I said it. It's true, everybody likes that. Okay, so, tout Montreuil-sur-Mer fut en rumeur. So the whole city of Montreuil-sur-Mer was in rumor. That means in rumor. Everybody was talking about it. Everybody thought this was the news of the century. So everybody talked about it. Le bruit était fondé. If you really translate it literally, it's the noise was founded or grounded. But I would say, well, the rumors, so what they were saying, it was justified. So it was true. It was true that he would be nominated as mayor. Quelques jours après, la nomination parut dans le Moniteur. So a few days later or after that, the nomination appeared in Le Moniteur. It was like the official paper. Le lendemain, le père Madeleine refusa. So the next day, le lendemain, Father Madeleine refused. He said, I don't want to be the mayor of this city. We're going to the next page, which is, I think, 57. Yes. En 1820, 5 ans après son arrivée à Montreuil-sur-Mer, les services qu'il avait rendus au pays étaient si éclatants, le vœu de la contrée fut tellement unanime que le roi le nomma de nouveau maire de la ville. Ah, so, a year later, in 1820, 5 years after his arrival in Montreuil-sur-Mer, his services that he had given to the country, or maybe better to say the county, were so éclatant, so brilliant, so vibrant, so shining, the wish of the county was so unanimous that the king nominated him again mayor of the city. So he was doing so much good for the country or the county that the king said, okay, I nominate you again as mayor of the city. Il refusa encore, mais le préfet résista à son refus. So he refused again, but the commissioner resisted to his refusal, or he refused. Tous les notables vinrent le prier. All the, maybe you can say notables, but notable, it means like it's the significant people of a city. It's the teacher, it's the priest, all the important people came to pray him. Please be the mayor. Le peuple en pleine rue le suppliait. So the people in the middle of the street implored him. L'insistance fut si vive qu'il finit par accepter. So the insistence, the people insisting, was so vive, so lively, but it means so strong that he finished by accepting. This is not a good English structure. So in English, you would say he finally accepted, but very interesting to note it down as a French structure. He finished by accepting. He finally accepted. So good to note it down. On remarqua que ce qui parut surtout le déterminer, ce fut l'apostrophe presque irritée d'une vieille femme du peuple qui lui cria du seuil de sa porte avec humeur. So, one noticed that what seemed especially to determine him, to make him decide, it was, l'apostrophe means the address. So it's somebody talking to him. The address, let's say, almost irritated, of an old woman, of the people, like a woman in the street, who screamed to him from the step of her door. But with humor in French means like almost irritated or irritably, angrily. And what did she scream or yell? Un bon maire, c'est utile. A good mayor, it's useful. Est-ce qu'on recule devant du bien qu'on peut faire? So, est-ce qu'on, does one step back in front of the good that one can do? So this is what she said to Mr. Madeleine. So we need a good mayor. And does one refuse or step back in front of the good that one can do? This is probably what convinced le père Madeleine. OK? Ce fut là la troisième phase de son ascension. So it was there, the third phase or the third step in his ascension, in him becoming more important. I think first he made the factory, then it was clear he wanted to do the best for everyone, giving a job to everyone, so a job and bread, and then finally becoming the mayor. Le père Madeleine était devenu Monsieur Madeleine. Monsieur Madeleine devint Monsieur le maire. So, Father Madeleine had become Mr. Madeleine, and Mr. Madeleine became Monsieur le maire means, well, it means like Mr. the mayor, but it means like, it's like a title you give to the mayor. Okay? Good. Last big paragraph. Un seul homme dans la ville et dans l'arrondissement se déroba absolument à cette contagion. So, one single man in the city and in the arrondissement, maybe also county, se déroba means escaped absolutely to this contagion. To all people agreeing, le père Madeleine has to be the mayor, and one man escaped this or did not agree. Et quoi que fit le père Madeleine, y demeura rebelle comme si une sorte d'instinct incorruptible et imperturbable l'éveillait et l'inquiétait. So, and quoique, whatever did Father Madeleine, so this man demeura, stayed, rebel, to that. The to that is the little word I. Demeurer rebelle à. If Hans is following my or listening to my video, he is interested, and so the I, Hans, means to that. À quelque chose. So this man, he stayed rebel. He resisted to all that. As if, comme si, as if, a kind of instinct. Incorruptible means like, well, we could say incorruptible, like unfading, and imperturbable, undisturbed, woke him up and worried him. So one man does not really agree with all that. Souvent, quand Monsieur Madeleine passait dans une rue, calme, affectueux, entouré des bénédictions de tous, il arrivait qu'un homme de haute taille, vêtu d'une redingote, gris de fer, armé d'une grosse canne et coiffé d'un chapeau rabattu, se retournait brusquement derrière lui. It's already a long sentence, so I'm going to stop already here. So, often, when Mr. Madeleine passed in the street, calm, factuous, surrounded by benedictions of all, so all people, maybe not benedictions, but blessings, we would say in English, blessings by all, il arrivait It happened. So arriver, it's not only to arrive or to come, it also means to happen. So it happened that a man of a high stature, so he's tall, a tall man, dressed in a redingote overcoat, gray, iron gray, gris de fer, iron gray, it's the color, iron gray, armed with, or yes, having, but armed with a big walking stick, and coiffé de, capped with, but it really means like wearing a hat. Rabattu means like pull down. This man returned himself, so turned around suddenly behind him. So he looked around behind him, et this I haven't read yet, I think, et le suivait des yeux jusqu'à ce qu'il eût disparu. So, and followed him, so followed Mr. Madeleine with his eyes, des yeux, until, jusqu'à ce que, look at this word, jusqu'à ce que. Jusqu'à ce que means until he had disappeared, croisant les bras, crossing his arms, secouant lentement la tête, shaking slowly his head, et haussant sa lèvre supérieure avec sa lèvre inférieure jusqu'à son nez. So haussant means lifting up his upper lip with his lower lip. Supérieur means upper, inférieur, lower, until his nose. So this man, he pulls up like this, his two lips until his nose. Sorte de grimace significative qui pourrait se traduire par, so a kind of grimace or a kind of face, a significant face, which could se traduire, be translated by, so he's making this face, and this could be translated by, mais qu'est-ce que c'est que cet homme-là? But what is this man over there? What is he? What is it? Pour sûr, je l'ai vu quelque part. For sure, I have seen him quelque part somewhere. En tout cas, je ne suis toujours pas sa dupe. So, in any case, I am toujours pas, still not. Watch out, toujours can be all the time, but it also can mean still. So, still not, I'm still not dupe, I'm still not fooled. So, this man in the street, he says, where have I seen Mr. Madeleine? Ce personnage grave, d'une gravité presque menaçante, était de ceux qui, même rapidement entrevus, préoccupent l'observateur. So this figure, this man, this tall man with his head, serious, with a seriousness that's almost threatening, menacing or threatening, was of those who, even entrevu, seen rapidly, seen just a few seconds, worried the observer. So this man, even if you saw him only a few seconds, you would be worried. That's what it means. Il se nommait Javert et il était de la police. He was named Javert and he was of the police. So let me know if you have already guessed who we are talking about. Thank you for still reading with me. I hope now after the summer, maybe from September on, we will be reading with quite some more people. But thank you to those who were with me. Have a wonderful, wonderful Tuesday. See you later. Bye.